Hi guys, so I wanted to explain to you what I wanted you to do for the food chains and food webs activity in science this week. So I want you to make your own food webs and your own food chains using the cards for the biomes. There is a basket. I will show you where it is over in the science area, and it's got all kinds of different biomes in it. So it is right over here. Here's the science shelf, okay? And it looks like this. Okay, it's in this little brown wicker basket. And we got stuff like the tundra and the marine, like the ocean. There are freshwater. There's the temperate zone, the taiga, the tropical rainforest. So it kind of looks like this. It's in a wicker basket. It's over in the science area. So I want you to use those cards to make your own food webs and food chains. So what I want you to do is, and I made one here, I did the mangrove just because I wanted you to, just as a demonstration. So a mangrove is basically kind of like a swampy area that's near shorelines and coastlines near the ocean. So you're going to find them like down by Australia. They're more in warmer areas. So they're like in Australia. They'll be in Africa, along the shoreline of Africa, and even in the Caribbean. So they're kind of a very watery biome. So to begin with, of course, we're going to have our plants, right? And actually, a food chain always begins with the sun, because you need the sun in order to make energy. So the energy from the sun is going into the plants. Okay, and so for this one, we have a black mangrove plants. Okay, and there might be some decaying plants in there because a lot of the smaller creatures will eat some of the decaying matter that's in there. And then also some of the live plants that are in there. So then the energy for the plants will go into this prawn. Okay, and then this is going to be our primary consumer. So this is a producer. The plants are the producer. They're making their own food. And then this is a consumer, right? They're eating the things that are in the water. So our prawn will eat some of the smaller stuff that's in there. And so this is the primary consumer. So from there, that energy will go into a fish. So this fish might eat this prawn. And so that's where the energy transfers. And so now this is the secondary consumer. Okay, and then the energy from that fish will go into this bird. Okay, so this is an ibis. So this bird now becomes the tertiary consumer. It's the third one in line, and then the energy from that may go into this crocodile. So then this would be the quaternary consumer. It's the fourth one in line in the food chain. Now remember, a food chain is just a single line. It starts with the producer, then it goes into the consumers. Okay, typically it will start with maybe an herbivore. I mean, I could have changed this and had, for example, like a wallaby or something like that. A wallaby is also a consumer, but it eats the plants. It would be the primary consumer. It's an herbivore, though, typically. And then you can start to get more into the carnivores back here. So remember, a food chain is a single line. So that's why it's called a chain. So in your notebook, once you make this using your pictures and the arrows, I want you to use the arrows too, so you show how the energy flows through the food chain. I want you to write it in your notebook. Now, if you want to draw a picture, that's fine. You can draw a picture too. But I want you to label it. So food chain, and it would probably be smart if you would put which biome that you're doing. So a food chain from, say, this one would say mangrove food chain. So then you would just write down, or like I said, if you want to draw the picture with it, you can. Just don't, it doesn't have to be, like, I don't expect it to be like super colorful and all that kind of stuff, but it should be neat and accurate. I want it to be accurate, okay? So for example, we have the plants, right? Mangrove plants, and those are the producers. Then just like I said, we have the primary consumers, the secondary consumers, the tertiary consumer, and the quaternary consumer, okay? So that's all you have to do is write these down in your notebook as a food chain, okay? Make sure you've got the title at the top, and I would like you to do 2 different food chains from 2 different biomes. So just a total of 2 food chains, but like say you could do one from a tropical rainforest and one from the tundra, or you could do one from the ocean and one from the temperate forest or something like that. Okay, so 2 food chains total, but they need to be from different biomes. Okay, and make sure that you've got the arrows laid out and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you don't know what some of this stuff eats, then you're going to have to look it up using your iPad. Okay, don't just assume that you know what everything eats. So obviously in a forest, it's going to be a little bit easier, especially from a forest from our region, because, you know, we're pretty familiar with that stuff. But don't just assume, like in the ocean, that you know what everything eats. So if you're not for sure, then look it up, okay? So again, put your labels on there, draw the picture of what the food chain looks like, and it has to be from, I only need 2 food chains, but they need to be from different biomes. Okay? If you have any questions, you can always email me. Thanks. Bye.